Listen to this.
Oh, now listen to this.
Yippee! That or Transformers?
Let's do this.
Here we go. By the way, they claim 0 to 100 in 6.6 seconds. What will it get?
Oh, okay, looking good. Oh!
That is going to be controversial. You know what they say, Daddy Jacob?
What do they say?
Two's a company, three's a crowd, 1,471 EVs from China entering the market in a single day in Australia.
That's an XPENG G6.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what we're here with. The XPENG G6. Shh.
Ooh, that was cool.
Hear that? We're here with the XPENG G6. Honestly, this is one of the most exciting EVs to land in Australia. Yes, we have been flooded, okay? We have been flooded. The market has been flooded. It has been saturated by a bunch of all these new brands entering in Australia. So far, we have reviewed the Deepal S07. Leapmotor C10's coming up. You're gonna want to watch that because that's a bad car. 3, BYD Sealion 7, that's a new one. What else is there, Ben?
Geely
EX5, that's a new one, and there's more launching in Australia. But this is the one we're gonna focus on today, the XPENG G6, and it is possibly one of the best ones to come out. This could be an RIP insert car here. We're gonna think of the title. By the way, you can buy this shirt now. Help support CarSauce.
And help support clickbaiters all around the world.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's actually really cool. We spent thousands of dollars to get this right, by the way. AS color, it's a nice t-shirt, feels so good on the body. Jacob's wearing white. We'll show you pictures of that now. Yes, he does look sexy in it, and yes, you will too, probably. So just go
We can't all look like me though.
No, go to carsauce.com. There's a store button, buy it there. We're gonna do a big batch order, limited time only. So yeah, get into it. All right, let's go back to this Jacob. Onslaught of Chinese EVs
continues.
RIP. Yeah, but this thing, like I said, is super exciting. That's because it's built on an 800-volt architecture, which is a really, really good architecture to build EVs on, and it's pretty damn cheap as well, Jacob. What's this standard range cost?
It's bloody 57,800.
And that is really good pricing. Then you can go for the long range that upgrades this 66 kilowatt hour LFP battery to an 87.5 kilowatt hour NMC battery. We'll get into the differences when we take this thing for a drive, but essentially that gives you about 100 kilometers of extra range and a bit more power, and that will set you back $59,800 again before on-road costs. Good pricing, man.
And you know what? It undercuts a very important car, the BYD Sealion 7.
Yes, that and the new Tesla Model Y Juniper. Make sure you subscribe because we will be reviewing that soon. But is this an RIP BYD Sealion 7? Is this an RIP Tesla Model Y? And is this simply the best new EV to land in Australia so far? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So really quickly, guys, today we've also filmed a comparison between this and the BYD Sealion 7. So make sure you subscribe because next week we will be dropping that and you're gonna wanna watch that because it's a really close race between these two. But let's talk about this and the way that it looks, man.
I think it looks really cool from the front, actually.
It does, it looks honestly so cool. Very futuristic. I love the lights here. Absolutely enormous daytime running lights and sequential indicators. These are your headlights down here and they are nice and bright too, which is very good. Interesting pattern there. You can hear it's yelling, and that's because it's got the air conditioning on. We're gonna lock the car.
Oh, bye-bye.
Yeah, it sings you a little song, and that should make it shut up a little bit. Down the bottom, you have active aero, so it's got flaps that open and close to make this thing more efficient. And as you will see, this thing is actually very efficient. You have your X badge here for XPENG or XPENG. We actually don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's
properly.
XPENG.
Oh. That's a good pronunciation, but let us know in the comment section, how do you actually pronounce the name of this brand? I wish they gave me some sort of guide. You've also got
a blob nose.
The blob nose. This is very common for EVs. It is the most aerodynamic shape for the front, and that's why they all have it. Literally all of them have it. Let's check out the side. So in terms of size, the XPENG G6 is actually relatively compact in its class. 1.65 meters tall and 1.92 meters wide. So relatively compact dimensions. Talking about its looks though. So here, I'm really happy to announce, you get these 20-inch alloy wheels. They look pretty cool though. All of these wheels start to look the same, but they are wrapped in good tires. Michelin Pilot Sport EVs. Great to see that XPENG has not cheaped out on tires. These are the tires I would be putting onto an electric car. So very, very good. You have dual cameras here. Yes, this thing does get things like Sentry mode, for example. Very Tesla-esque. So you have a front and rear facing camera and your XPENG badging there. Here you have your mirror cap with another camera.
God,
3 cameras.
So many cameras.
In the vicinity of like 1 centimeter. That's fantastic. Now, this is not fantastic. Here is the key. The only reason I'm showing it it to you, even though it does look like a cool futuristic car. It feels kind of cheap though, is that it does not have keyless entry. What the frick? So you can download the app and use your phone as the key, but because we can't set that up because it's tied to the VIN of the car, instead I have to use the key. That has been so annoying. Still pop out door handles, the maximum aerodynamics. Oh, check this out. Got a frameless window and it's double glazed as well. So that's fantastic. It's nice and quiet on the inside. No tinted privacy glass for the back window.
That's annoying.
That's another really annoying thing. Honestly, even at this price point, it should definitely be there. And competitors like the Sealion 7, they do get that. But otherwise, it is actually a pretty cool back end to it, including your charge ports. Now you do have to use the key for that as well. I'd say you press it, maybe 30% of the time it opens, but you do get access to your DC and AC charging. This thing, like I said, is built on an 800-volt architecture, and we'll come back to its charging speeds, but it's fantastic. Let's check out the bum. Okay, coming to the fat derriere of the XPENG G6. What is it like? Well, frankly, I think it looks really interesting.
I don't know, it is a bit fat. Yeah, I think that's the right word to use.
Yeah, fat, blobby, however you want to describe it. It definitely is going to suit some people, but some people are going to look at it and be like, what the frick is that? I actually quite like it, to be honest. And the more time I've spent with it, the more it has grown on me. I do love these huge tail lights here. Got sequential huge indicators in the back as well. I will say one bad bit of design about the G6 is that brake lights are all the way down here. You do have your third brake light up here, but cars that are behind you, they cannot see that.
No, not easily, that's for sure.
So that is a weird thing to do. I don't know why they did it. XPENG is spelt out there, nice and proud. G6 badging there too. You've also got a camera here and another camera here. This car has so many cameras.
It's kind of weird.
To the point where I don't really know what they do. I think that's your reverse camera, but then why isn't that your reverse camera?
I'd love it if someone could tell us in the comments, what do these extra cameras do?
Yeah, great that you get all this tech, but honestly, I don't know what they do, and that does add complexity, no doubt. You also have this very Urus looking spoiler up here, but I will say functional design, because if we talk about its bum, excuse me, have to unlock the car first. No keyless entry, like I said, press that. Powered tailgate, that's good to see. The good thing about this, frankly, odd shape is that you get a huge bum space. It is 580 litres. It's absolutely massive. Giant subwoofer back here as well for your X Opera sound system. Sounds like if Elon Musk named a car, he'd call it X everything, you know? Just under here, you get a bunch of storage as well. Good thing to have because you get no frunk.
That is a big miss.
That is a big miss on any EV.
It's got the space for one, just doesn't have one.
Exactly right. You do have a 12-volt socket here, but otherwise amenities are really short. There's no like hooks back here, which isn't great. Very easy to drop the second row though and expand the space. So actually in terms of size and practicality, it is very good. It's just missing a couple of things that you'd be like, why? You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's check out the interior.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, Daddy Jacob.
Oh, that was actually a decent thonk.
It's a thonk. Yeah, this interior space, while it does feel really quite similar in its design to some of its competitors, I'm looking at you, Leapmotor C10, Geely EX5, even Deepal.
Yeah, similar.
Honestly, very similar. It does feel just, honestly, a smidge better. You know?
It's well executed.
It's well executed. It feels nice in here. So first of all, soft touch materials in pretty much every place. It is a very quiet interior as well. A little bit of road noise at higher speeds, but that's probably from the wheels more than anything else. It is a quiet interior. Down to these seats. So you can definitely tell that it's a faux leather, but they are incredibly supportive. They're also heated and cooled, as is this steering wheel. I will say the seats, although you can adjust them like up and down, they don't have under thigh support. Thankfully, they do have enough leg support as standard, but yeah, that's a bit of a miss. Also, no lumbar support.
Yeah, that's a miss to me.
That is a bit of a miss. And I don't know why Chinese car companies like cheap out on those two things for some reason. Anyway, the steering wheel feels actually very nice to hold. It is a funny shape. We would call it a squircle for business.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the steering wheel.
Yeah, it's weird, but it works. And when you're driving it, you can have a bit of fun. Definitely like very wide, but not very tall. So anyway, that's what it is. What can I say, man? The buttons on the left are good because they control your air conditioning controls. But once you switch it over to your adaptive cruise control, it controls that. And then on the right-hand side, you have your media controls. And it's all very easy to use. By the way, your gear selector is here. Very Tesla-esque. I don't know why everybody copies Tesla with that. And also, if you go down, you get your X-Pilot, which is your lane centering. And that is very, very good in this car as well. Technology-wise is also pretty good. So up in front of you, you get a digital instrument cluster. It doesn't show a huge amount of information, but I think it shows the perfect amount. It's not in your face, you know?
Agreed, yeah. Some of them can be a bit cluttered.
Exactly, 100%. And then you have this big infotainment display. Again, extremely easy to use. You have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Thank you, Google, for sending us the Pixel.
Thank you, Google.
Thumbs up to you,
We love
mate.
you.
Yep, thumbs up to you, buddy. You can pull down from the screen, you get a bunch of shortcuts here, and it's just extremely snappy and responsive. It is very good. If you want to adjust your air conditioning controls, you do have to do it through this display, and I mean down to the air vents, just like a Tesla. Everyone's copying them, but you do have to use the screen for it, and it's just fiddly. I don't know why they can't just have physical things there, you know?
Honestly, it's so annoying.
It's just annoying. It's just so annoying. Especially on a hot day like today where you're trying to get the positioning just right. It takes way longer than it needs to. Rant over. Otherwise, it's fine, to be honest.
You know what makes it annoying, actually?
What?
It's the fact that they have manual air vents in the rear, which we'll get to. But like, it shows you that they're capable of doing it.
Of course they are. It's like trying to do a party trick that just doesn't need to be there. And I think that actually impacts things like this. You don't get a glove box. And I think it's because of all the air conditioning systems and mechanisms. Why?
It's probably just full of wiring, yeah.
Yeah, it's just strange. Otherwise, Practicality is pretty good. So you get a couple of fast wireless chargers up here, which is really great. They've both got ventilation too, so they keep things nice and cool. You have quite a lot of storage here with a USB-A port, USB-C port, and a 12-volt socket walkie. So it is a very large 12-volt socket walkie. This soft center armrest is nice. Open it up, you get heaps of storage in there. Door bins as well are a pretty massive size. You have the cliche electric car thing of just having a button as your door release.
Classic.
Works well though, I can't complain. There's always someone watching you here because you got a little eye monitor.
Yeah, make sure you say hello.
Yeah, thankfully this does not have annoying intrusive safety systems like everyone else. Thank you, XPENG, for doing something about that before you release the car. Unlike Deepal, who just had to release a statement saying we're sorry, essentially. You do have a massive sunroof here as well, and it is very tinted, but it does not come with a cover, or at least it comes with a manual cover, which we don't have, so I can't tell you about it. But unlike the BYD Sealion 7, which has an auto cover, this does not, which does kind of suck, although it's not putting out too much heat, and today it is quite warm. It's about 30 degrees. So.
I can tell you're pretty warm because you're rambling a bit.
Ouch. All right, let's check out the back seats.
Let's do it.
Okay, if you are chauffeuring people around pretty often, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the back seats of the XPENG G6 are class leading. I'm 5'11", I've just got a stupid amount of legroom. Toe room as well is absolutely fantastic. Headroom is really good too, and there is heaps of support underneath my thighs. The seats are high enough that even though the battery lives in the floor and that's already raised up, I'm actually sitting at a really comfortable angle. And you can get more comfortable. There's a little release here. It's so easy to lie back if you want to as well.
I think other manufacturers should be taking notes of how to do these back seats.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. By the way, the materials back here are just as nice as up front. So again, very quiet back here. You have a very nice fold down center armrest. This is so soft. And then you open this up, you have a couple of cup holders, which is good. You have your standard mat pockets, but you do get a couple of air vents. Wow, that's so easy to move around.
Manual.
That's unbelievably easy.
So you're telling me we don't need a screen to adjust the air vents?
I don't know, man. Maybe you do. Maybe you do, according to some manufacturers. Looking at you, Tesla, adding a screen in the back. And you've also got this fabric here and a couple of USB-C fast chargers. That fabric is weird. I don't know why they've got it there. But anyway, you know what else isn't weird? CarSauce Buy. That's right. You can actually buy an XPENG G6 through CarSauce Buy. It is a car buying service where thousands of you have now used it. Thank you very much.
It helps us.
Thumbs up. But it also helps you because we get you the absolute best price on cars that are actually in stock. The way it works is we make dealers literally fight each other to get you the best price possible on your next new car. It is a service I have personally used, secret shop, to make sure that it was
chef's kiss.
Magnificent. And guess what? It really is. It is a totally free service for you. We only charge the dealers a fixed fee, which also means we go in the hardest to get you the best price possible. So if that sounds good to you, and it definitely should, Google CarSauce Buy and my team will take care of you. Daddy Jacob,
let's bloody launch it.
Alrighty friend, it's time to launch the XPENG G6 standard range, which has a bit less power than the longer range,
But it's got the same amount of torque.
listen to this.
Oh, now listen to this.
Oh, risk description of using launch mode.
Exhilarating acceleration experience, however the cooling, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, for more fun in driving. Okay, let's do it. Yippee!
That or Transformers? Okay. Oh, it says little launch thing there. Okay, whatever. We're gonna do it. Fist me and fist me good.
Let's do this.
Here we go. Launch mode.
I can feel it.
By the way, they claim 0 to 100 in 6.6 seconds. What will it get?
Oh, okay, looking good. Oh!
That is gonna be controversial.
That is not quite the claim, but you know what? You know what that is? That's the BYD Sealion 7's claim.
There you go. 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds on the dot.
Honestly, bro, I was expecting a little better.
Yeah, it's like fast to accelerate, but then yeah, it just kind of slows down as you get closer to 100. Anyway, interesting. Shall we drive it normally?
Let's.
All righty, tighty friend.
Whoa, that was That was a Freudian slip, bro.
Gonna put this thing into sport mode. Listen to this.
Oh. That is like a power up in a video game. It's like I just ate a mushroom. Oh.
Quite a smooth acceleration.
Oh, it's still going.
Oh, that's very nice. Okay, this thing puts out 190 kilowatt of power, 440 newton meters of torque. If you go for this standard range, it is rear-wheel drive only. That's all you get in Australia for now. Apparently a performance version is coming.
Which I'm G'd up for. I'm G6'd up for, as I say.
Then there is the long range version. That puts out 210 kilowatt power, 440 newton meters of torque. So a bit of a bump for power, but the same torque. The biggest difference is the battery.
Yes.
So this one, the standard range, comes with a 66 kilowatt hour LFP battery. That's the kind of battery you can charge up to 100%, but it is a little slower to charge up, though this is still incredibly fast. 215 kilowatt of DC fast charging. For an LFP type battery, lithium ferrous phosphate, that's incredibly quick. If you go for the bigger battery, that's 82.5 kilowatt hours.
87.5.
So close.
You messed it up.
Oh, so close. It's also a different type. It's an NMC, or nickel metal
Manganese. Cobalt.
Wow.
I just remember it because I like mangoes.
You have such a big brain.
Big mango energy, as they say.
And yeah, it actually gets, on paper, way more range. Do you remember it?
Yeah, 570 kilometers on the WLTP. Did you say the WLTP of this?
No.
435 kilometers.
Yeah, so way less.
Yeah.
All of those figures are to say that this is really impressive. The reason it can charge so fast is
800 volt.
Exactly, the 800 volt architecture, which
very good.
Really nothing or very little has. The Kia EV6 and Ioniq 5 have 800 volt architectures, and right now that's pretty much it. So
I mean, you've got like, you know, obviously the Audi Q6 e-tron and the Porsche Macan.
Can't compare though.
Different class.
All right, so let's give it some sauce through here, because how does it perform? We're in sport mode, so everything is full fat, 100%. Your steering goes into sport mode, becomes weirdly artificially heavy.
Oh my God, the handling is quite good. Like, oh yeah, the rear end bottoms out a bit, but...
So that's the thing. This thing has a great ride until you activate the primary suspension. So secondary ride, or the ride when you don't actually activate the suspension, i.e. the suspension doesn't compress, is actually really good. It's nice, it's soft, and it's rather compliant. However, once you activate that suspension, as you saw there, boy, does it squat. It really goes into the ground. That is the only fault I can think of when driving this thing.
I think it squats a bit too much, man. If you compare it even to like the BYD Sealion 7, which by the way, we are doing a full comparison of, so you should definitely
coming out next week
for that.
So subscribe.
But with that car, that has a softer primary ride, but it still doesn't bottom out. So they've achieved a nicer balance, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. But when you compare it to the at least previous Tesla Model Y, obviously the Juniper is coming out soon. Again, subscribe. We're going to be reviewing that. Yeah, this has a much better ride than that. It's just, honestly, you couldn't even compare.
They've done a good job, man.
Let's see how it goes up Saucy Corner. Like I said, we're in sport mode.
We've been in sport mode this whole time, bro. You're loving it.
I'm loving it. Give it some sport. Give it some sauce. Tickle me. Here we go.
You can feel that 440 newton meters.
Very gentle though.
Yeah, baby.
Very gentle roll on.
Oh.
All right,
wow.
So let's see how it goes up. Hairpin, whoa. Numero uno. Hairpin, numero duo. Here we go.
Bloody hell.
Bit of understeer, traction cuts in.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
You know what? I feel like when you're driving a car like this, you want it to be safe. You know, you don't want the traction system to go, enjoy.
Yeah, exactly right.
Into that wall.
Handling, by the way, this thing does have a very good balance of like low body roll for such a heavy, large SUV.
I agree. It's still body rolls for sure, which is kind of the trade-off of having a comfortable tune, but we got to go back to that squat, man. That squat.
Yeah, when you hit something, it really does like, it just, the back end just goes boom, straight into the ground. Okay, so this. X-Pilot, unbelievably good. That's the name of their adaptive cruise control lane centering. Without a doubt, the best of all Chinese cars I have driven in Australia.
Look, honestly, man, really impressive. I think it does a really good job of keeping you in the center of the lane. It doesn't really bounce you between the lines either.
Not at all. The other thing is that I actually beat the claim for efficiency, which is very unusual. This thing claims like 17.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. On this drive over the last 100 kilometers, 15.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers.
That's really impressive, especially considering we were doing freeway driving, probably sitting at about 100 100 k's an hour, which is usually where EVs falter in terms of efficiency.
So when they told me it was 66 kilowatt hour battery or the standard range, I was like, oh God, here we go. I'm gonna have to charge a lot. But honestly, this thing is getting like way better range than you find on like a Leapmotor C10, a Deepal SO7. So yeah, this thing is genuinely really impressing me with how it drives.
I think we're starting to see, you know, a tier list of Chinese mid-size EV SUVs coming, forming. Maybe that's something we do soon. Who knows?
Maybe. Alrighty, shall we get into our final thoughts?
Let's.
All right, Daddy Jacob, final thoughts, and wait for this.
Oh, dude, this thing has the best sound effects.
Final thoughts on the XPENG G6, should you buy one? Well, if you want to know if you should buy one of these over a BYD Sealion 7, we're going to be releasing that comparison in a week's time. So again, make sure you're subscribed, or if it's been a week, it'll already be out. Regardless, I really like the XPENG G6. I think it's a really good competitor to the BYD Sealion 7, probably the best out there at the moment. And honestly, rather than waiting for a Juniper, which already costs more than this, the Tesla Model Y, this is a really good option. It's not annoying to drive. It's actually pretty damn good. It's got some quirks like the back end loves to squat down when you activate the suspension, but other than that, it does everything really well, charges fast, looks great, nice interior. It's hard to fault.
It's got great value, man. I think 800-volt architecture. I think it drives really well. It's great.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to buy an XPENG G6 with the best price possible, just Google CarSauce buy. My team will take care of you. And of course, if you want our limited edition clickbait t-shirt, just go to carsauce.com, click the store and pre-order yours now. We'll be closing orders in about a month, so make sure you get in. Ciao for now.
Bye-bye.